Maya and Adrian had been friends for almost 5 years, close enough to share everything: late-night jokes, long rants, quiet fears, and even their biggest dreams. But they were never quite close enough to call what they felt love. Or maybe they were just too afraid to name it. They met in college. Maya was the brilliant, thoughtful, quiet type, always lost in her books. Adrian was her complete opposite: confident, cheerful, and always surrounded by people. Yet somehow, they connected in a way that made perfect sense only to them. After graduation, life pulled them in different directions. Maya became a graphic designer in New York, while Adrian took a marketing job in Boston, traveling constantly. But no matter how far apart they were, they never stopped talking. Every birthday, every new year, every heartbreak, and every success, they were always there for each other. It was like they were two parallel lines, running side by side, refusing to separate, all while pretending they were never meant to meet. Until the night everything changed. It was a rainy Friday in November when Adrian showed up at Maya's apartment door, completely unannounced. She opened it and just froze, shocked. "Adrian," she whispered, "what are you doing here? You didn't tell me you were coming." He looked exhausted. His hair was wet from the rain, his shirt was wrinkled, and he had a suitcase in his hand. I needed to see you," he said softly. Maya immediately stepped aside. He came in, dropped his suitcase, and let out a long breath, like he'd been holding it for months. She made him some tea, and they sat on the couch. "What happened?" she asked. He stared at the rain outside for a moment before speaking. "I got tired. Maya, tired of running everywhere except the one place I actually want to be." Her heart skipped a beat. "And where is that?" He turned to her, his eyes finding hers like she was the only calm in his storm. "Here, with you." The words hit her so hard, she forgot how to breathe. Adrian stayed the night. Not because he planned to, but because neither of them wanted him to leave. They talked for hours about work, stress, life, and that feeling of losing yourself in the chaos of adulthood. At one point, Maya handed him a blanket. "You can sleep on the couch." Adrian looked at her and smiled gently. "I don't want to sleep yet." So she sat beside him again, her legs pulled up, her hair a mess from the long evening day. They sat in a comfortable silence, the kind that feels completely safe. Finally, she asked the question she'd been afraid to ask for years. "Adrian, why did you really come?" He shifted closer, his voice softer than she had ever heard it. "I've been in love with you for a very long time, Maya. I think I always was. I just never had the courage to tell you." Her breath caught in her throat. He continued, "Every woman I dated, I compared them to you. Every time I was happy, you were the first person I wanted to tell. When something hurt, you were the person I wanted. And at some point, I realized it was always you." Her eyes filled with tears. She pressed a hand to her mouth, trying to hold back the wave of emotion. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" she whispered. Adrian laughed gently. "Because I was scared you didn't feel the same." She slowly reached for his hand, her fingers trembling. "What if I say I did?" she whispered. Adrian blinked. "Maya," she nodded, tears now falling freely. "What if I say I loved you too, but I thought you would never feel that way? What if I say I waited for you all this time?" He closed the small distance between them and pulled her into his arms. She melted against him, feeling the warmth she had craved for years. "Maya," he whispered into her hair, "tell me this is real." "It is," she whispered back. "It finally is." For a moment, they just held each other, breathing in the comfort they had both been missing for so long. Then, Adrian gently pulled back and cupped her face. "Maya, can I?" She nodded before he could even finish. Their lips met softly at first, curious and gentle. Almost shy-like to souls, speaking a language they had always known but never dared to use. Then the kiss deepened, warm, slow, and full of meaning. Years of longing poured into that single moment. The world outside, the rain, the city noise, it all just faded away. When they finally broke apart, breathless, Maya whispered, "That should have happened a long time ago." Adrian finished, a smile spreading across his face. They fell asleep on the couch, wrapped in the same blanket. When Maya woke up, sunlight was spilling into the living room. Sleep. Adrian was still asleep, his arms around her, breathing peacefully. She stared at him, realizing happiness could look this simple. When he woke up, he smiled sleepily. "Good morning." She blushed. "Good morning." He brushed his thumb over her cheek. "Do you know how long I've wanted to wake up like this?" Maya whispered. "Then don't leave." He smiled softly. "I'm not going anywhere." Adrian extended his stay. Days turned into weeks, and everything felt natural, cooking together, movie nights, and late-night conversations. One night, as they sat on her balcony wrapped in a blanket, Adrian said quietly, "I'm thinking of moving to New York. Permanently." Her heart raced. "Are you serious?" He nodded. "I want a life with you. Not just calls and messages, a real life. Waking up together, eating together, fighting and making up. Everything." Tears filled her eyes again. "I want that too." And just like that, two friends became lovers. Two lonely hearts became partners. A long journey of waiting had finally found its destination. Love hadn't arrived suddenly. It had grown, slowly and quietly, until it became something worth fighting for. She had loved him long before the kiss, long before the visit, long before the confession. She had loved him from the moment she realized he was the only person who felt like home. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share and subscribe for more.